Good day, everyone who have joined this event both in person and by virtual mode. On behalf of Embassy of India and the Ambassador of India to Ireland, His Excellency Shri Akhilesh Mishra ji, I welcome all of you for today's event in respect of the state of Uttarakhand under Mission of monthly state tourism event series. May I please request Mr. Murugaras Damodaran, First Secretary, Commercial and Political, and Deputy Head of the Mission for his welcome remarks.
Thank you. Thanks, Kumar. Good day to everyone. Firstly, I thank and welcome and thank all of you for joining this event. Unfortunately, Ambassador could not join today as he has another official engagement. So he will be soon there in the office. We will apprise him and take his advice to proceed further. Firstly, I would like to welcome and thank Ms. Poonam Chand, Additional Director, Department of Tourism, Government of Uttarakhand, for agreeing our request and invite for joining this event and giving away a presentation today. Secondly, the tour operators from Ireland who are continuously joining us in the monthly series of events. And third, our beloved Indian diaspora members from the state of Uttarakhand who are living here in Ireland for decades. I welcome all of you for joining this event. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So, to begin with, let me give a brief about this, the series of event which is being undertaken by the embassy. Firstly, this is called monthly state tourism event series. So, under this series, we are focusing on one particular Indian state in a month, and we are exploring the possible cooperation in the fields of in the field of tourism, and also to harness the potential available in the field of tourism. In general, so far we have conducted such events in the state of Goa. We started with Goa and then moved on to Kerala and Bihar, and now we are focusing on Uttarakhand. In general, India and Ireland enjoy excellent bilateral relationships, and almost in all spheres. There is around 40,000 Indians who are visiting Ireland every year, and around 45,000 Irish people are visiting India every year. And the aim of such initiative is to augment this number, to increase this number to the maximum extent possible. Because as we all know, there is always a room for growth and improvement. And so let's proceed to the rest of the segment today, and looking forward for a fruitful discussion from the House and also for a enlightening presentation from the state government of Uttarakhand. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insightful remarks about ongoing India-Ireland relationships, for this bilateral relationships or trade relations, and setting up the stage for fruitful discussion. Now, I request Ms. Poonam Chand, Additional Director, Department of Tourism, Government of Uttarakhand, for her presentation. Ma'am, please.
Thank you so much. We have full team from Uttarakhand Tourism for today's presentation. We are all so excited in a short time, but we all are ready. We have Colonel Ashwin Pundir, who will be leading our team today. We have ACO Infra. She'll be coming after some time, just in 5 minutes. Then we have ACO Harish Martolia ji with us, and Director Marketing. So now I request Colonel Ashwin Pundir to give the presentation. Start.
So I would like to firstly welcome all, ladies and gentlemen, to the presentation here on Uttarakhand tourism. As you're aware, we called this Himalayan state of ours Dev Bhumi because of various factors, and mostly being the religious sentiments of Hindus associated with the Himalayas, and of course the Char Dham which we have here, and mostly a plethora of religious places which are there. And I would just like to show you the state profile and the state offerings in a nutshell. Not going into too many details because it would definitely take more time. So, as you can see, what I'm showcasing here is the state GDP in terms of, we had about 3.02 lakh crore in 2022-23, which has obviously increased now. And the per capita net state domestic product is there for you to see. We have about 61% of our population in the working group of 50 to 59 years, which is a sizable population, working population. We have a good literacy rate, and a lot of aromatic crops and such like things are there. Though, of course, tourism forms the backbone of the economy of the state. And of course, we are also into a lot of exports from the regions which are in the plains. So Uttarakhand remains to be a state which is a Himalayan state, but with its near proximity to the Delhi NCR region, there is a lot of tourist footfall. In fact, if you see on the weekends, you would find that most of the routes from Delhi are almost jammed. And most of our destinations are overbooked now. So what we have here is Rishikesh. You are well aware of Rishikesh. It is now transformed into an adventure hub. It was a sort of religious and a yoga hub. And we just concluded with our International Yoga Festival. As per the National Crime Report, Uttarakhand is one of the safest states. Being a Himalayan state, you are well aware, we do share boundaries and borders with our neighboring country. However, till now, it has remained a very, very peaceful and a very, in terms of any internal crime or internal strife, the state remains to be a very peaceful and a, tourist-friendly destination. We also have about, almost about 50 lakh plus visitors coming to our Char Dham circuit, which is a sizable number, as you understand, because it is not year. It is not throughout the year. It is only for a fixed duration when the dhams open up, which is usually during the summers only, from May. And we have about 10.2 million footfall at the destination of Haridwar, which all Hindus revere as one of the spots which you have to visit one time or other. And of course, now we have about in domestic tourist arrivals, which are now sizably more than the foreign arrivals. We are ranked as 10th. Uttarakhand has a unique distinction of having a huge forest cover. So most of our adventure activities, our ecotourism activities happen in forested areas. And I would also sort of like to bring it to your notice that the AQI, which is in the Delhi NCR and the other regions of India, we are grappling a problem of the air pollution, which is quite good here. And, during COVID, we did have a problem in terms of tourist footfall, but the bounce back was almost about 150%. And we also have been ranked 9th in the ease of doing business with a literacy rate of 79%. So moving on from that, you can see the strong recovery from the COVID times. Actually, did dip a bit during 2019 and 20, but most of the adventure activities were still on. There was a feature on Times of India regarding this, that our adventure activities like rafting and all still did continue. But of course, just like to showcase this, that the locational advantage in terms of being very close to the Delhi NCR is one of our strengths, and religious and wellness tourism are key drivers for growth. We also are promoting workation in a very big manner. This is what showcases the connectivity part. In the recent about 3 years, I have seen a huge surge in our connectivity in terms of road connectivity. Earlier, it was about 9 hours from Delhi. Now it is reduced to about 4.5 hours. And because of the NHI projects, I think it is going to reduce further to 2.5 hours, which in terms of Delhi is like commuting from one part to the other. So it's really very close to Delhi and has multiple approaches from the NCR region, even from Chandigarh. And as you see, the heli connectivity and the airstrip connectivity, Jolly Grant Airport at Dehradun is very well connected to most of the regions in India. And then, of course, we have internal connectivity in terms of helicopter movement. So we have largely a lot of helicopter accessibility primarily because it started with Kedarnath Ji Yatra, because we have a large number of heli operators who are operating from the lower regions to the shrine. And then, of course, we are planning in terms of boosting connectivity throughout Uttarakhand. Pithoragarh has just started. Flights from Delhi and Dehradun have started to Pithoragarh, which is on the extreme right. And on the extreme left, we have Uttarkashi Chinyali Soda Airport. And in between, we have the area which is going up to Badrinath Ji and Kedarnath Ji, which is in Chamoli. And we have airport at Gochar. So all these three fixed wing connectivity would be there. Of course, heli connectivity you would find in most of these regions, and we are trying to improve upon it. The other part is that Dehradun Airport is being upgraded to an international airport. So we will shortly start flights from Nepal, and then we will expand it onwards. And of course, train connectivity also is there, and we are starting with some new trains from Pune and Calcutta, basically tourism-related trains, which are called the Manaskand Express. Here is a snapshot of the various properties we have in our area. So if you see there, they are very, very exclusive properties. And of course, there is a lot of focus on homestays and, such like places which are really remote, and they give you a beautiful insight into what Uttarakhand is all about. The natural pristine beauty, the flowing, rivers and rivulets, the mountains. But if you see the niche operators like the Kumaon, the Shakti 360, the Ananda was a palace which has been converted into one of the hotels. Then, if you see in most of the tourist destinations, like the well-known ones like Mussoorie, Nainital, even Dehradun, and such like places, we have a large tourist attractions which are there. And Dehradun would boast of now almost about 4 NCR type malls, which have also come up here. And most of the operators who are, like McDonald's or, the brew factory, various which are there in Delhi are also available here. What we offer you is a segment of spiritual tourism, because mostly nowadays the crowd from NCR and of course from abroad, people are looking at mental peace and solace. So our spiritual tourism and wellness tourism is one of our niche segments. We are also the best adventure state since last about 3 years. We have a well-formed adventure wing. So adventure tourism like mountaineering, trekking, river rafting, paragliding is of course on a virtual high at this particular point of time. We also have leisure tourism and wildlife tourism. Okay, so we also have 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The adventure tourism hub we have at Rishikesh, let's say, we can boast of the biggest economy in terms of river rafting in just one location of 32 kilometers, which is at Rishikesh. And then, of course, we have 4 bungee jumping sites at Shivpuri and the Rishikesh hub, which is also a highest concentration in the world anywhere. Rishikesh also is known as the yoga and the wellness capital of the world. Of course, this all is expanding into ecotourism, and into various other regions you would also find such like activities which are going on. In wildlife tourism, we have about 6 national parks. We have the Gangotri National Park, we have the Corbett National Park, we have the Rajaji National Park, and we have Govind Pashu Vihar. All of these showcase various types of animals which are very, very unique to this region. I'm just showcasing this UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's called the Valley of Flowers. Most of you would have heard of it. All these flowers are endemic to this region, and they grow themselves. And it is a beautiful valley. And one can go here by trekking itself and enjoy this place. And it is really a kind of a site which is worth seeing. And of course, there are other religious destinations which are near to this place where you can also visit, like Hemkund Sahib, which is also close to this region. Besides that, as far as religious tourism and cultural heritage is concerned, there is a rich heritage we have, and a large number of temples which are, pretty old in terms of when you look at the archaeological kind of a concept. So we do have what we are showcasing here is various festivals and various temples, and of course various dance forms which are prevalent in Uttarakhand. Then, of course, we have local architecture amidst beautiful serene mountains, which we are also sort of preserving and developing to showcase to the world. And just a visit to these sites and staying a few days rejuvenates you in a way that, you cannot really rejuvenate in the cities. And the Himalayan region, in any case, most of you are aware, is the hub of mental well-being and wellness. So that is what we would try to share with the world. Of course, Char Dham I just mentioned. There has been a huge resurgence in Yatra post-COVID, and we had almost about 20 to about 25 lakh visitors about 3 years back. It is almost double now, and it is increasing day by day. So a lot of people want to visit Char Dham. The hills and valleys, of course. On to the right, I am showcasing Tehri, which is a lake destination. This is one of our prime greenfield destinations, which we are promoting now. We did have a acro festival there, International Acro Festival. It is covered in Thermix magazine, which is very famous in Europe. And we had 54 pilots, international pilots from 28 countries just in November here. And they have endorsed this area as the next best acro flying site to Aldınuz, Turkey. So that is the kind of potential. Of course, we have a large number of water sports, parasailing there, and paragliding and paramotoring training also happening there. Weekend rush from the NCR is expected because of the proximity, and secondly, in such a nearby vicinity, they can find such beautiful locations where they can come for the weekends and try and do their trekking or boating or just leisure. So that is the kind of USP which Uttarakhand has. And of course, you can visit anywhere and you're mostly safe. That is also one of the things. Adventure, like I just told you, there are multiple destinations now to choose from. There's not only the hub of Rishikesh or Nainital for adventure. Of course, we have a large number of paragliding, which is happening in the Bhimtal complex in Nainital, and river rafting in Rishikesh. But now we have expanded it to Yamuna, Tons, Harshil, that is Bhagirathi, up north. And even in the remotest of areas, you would find a lot of these activities which is happening. Oli is our prime destination, the only homologated slope suitable for international games, which is at Oli, that's in Chamoli. Trekking per se, we have close to about 1,000 treks here in Uttarakhand. All of them are very safe and very pristine. Some small treks, some larger treks. A large number of training program has been conducted for trekking guides. So mostly you would find trained guides from one of our premier institutes called the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, which is also located, it's a national institute located in Uttarkashi in Uttarakhand. They are assisting us to build up this manpower who would assist the foreign and the domestic tourists along with these safety parameters in place. And safety, ladies and gentlemen, let me just reiterate, as far as adventure and other things are concerned, remains our priority. And the state is working very hard towards ensuring a very, very safe travel. We have India's premier floating huts at Tehri. There are 22 of them, which are on the water. Of course, there's a Ministry of Tourism project for this. And as you can see that we are looking at nature tourism in terms of ecotourism. That's why we have also appointed Ratolia Saab, who's the additional CEO of ecotourism. We work closely in tandem with the forest department and to give the feel to the tourists of being in nature. So on the bottom part of the slide, you can see the eco huts which are there in the Tehri Lake. And of course, a large number of these structures which are overlooking the river or next to the forest gives you a beautiful feel. Like I mentioned, the various wildlife sanctuaries and the reserve parks. Onto the left topmost, you can see this is of Gangotri National Park and the Govind Pashu Vihar, where you have beautiful sightings of the snow leopard. This is one of the animals which is endangered species, and only in these regions in the snow you can sight the snow leopard. Onto the bottom left, you can see the famous Corbett and the Rajaji National Park, where you have tiger safaris. And onto the top, Rajaji National Park is also famous for elephants. So you'll find large numbers of them wandering around. If you're lucky, you can get. And of course, bottom, you can see the Valley of Flowers. With that, it's just a showcase of what we have here. And I would just, if you have any questions or the whole panel is here, we would be very glad to answer. Of course, we can also show the video.
Hello, India. Thank you for letting me fly in your country. This has been great. Being able to fly the first gyro in India has been amazing. The river, the sights, the people, the atmosphere, the opportunity has been great. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the future.
My name is Jerry Speech. I'm the CEO of AutoGyro GmbH in Germany. We've had a wonderful warm welcome. It's been really great, lovely people, lovely place to fly, and we really appreciate the welcome that we've had.
There is something alluring about the Himalayas. Perhaps these majestic mountains usher in a sense of adventure in people from around the globe. However, for Indians, the Himalayas are more than just a mighty mountain range. For Indians, it is a symbol of divine power. And a step into the Himalayas is something beyond a mere journey. It is a yatra, where these magnanimous mountains represent our emotions, our faith, and our beliefs. And cradled in the lap of these mighty Himalayas is an equally incredible and enthralling piece of land, known as Uttarakhand. Welcome to Dev Bhumi, the land of the gods, where temple bells ring in harmony, signifying victory of faith over fear, in this enchanting state that bears witness to India's rich cultural heritage. Uttarakhand, being a small yet picturesque state in North India, exuberates the richness of its captivating history, mythology, cultural diversity, its stunning landscapes, and its holy rivers. Renowned for its unique biodiversity, various types of forests are found spanning the region from the Himalayas to the plains of the Terai. The stunning silhouettes of oak, rhododendron, Himalayan cypress, deodar, and pine will definitely leave you in awe. It is believed that even Mahatma Gandhi was truly mesmerized by the beauty of Uttarakhand. In 1929, when he visited the hills of Kausani, the pristine beauty of the hill station made him term the place as the Switzerland of India. He even scripted his book Anasakti Yog over there, and that place has now been restored as a museum known as the Anasakti Ashram. Fast forward to India's independence in 1947, and the region became a part of the state of Uttar Pradesh. It was on November 9, 2000 that this Himalayan region got its independent identity as a separate state, thus becoming the 27th state of India with Dehradun as its capital. With an area of approximately 53,000 square kilometers, Uttarakhand comprises two major regions, namely Garhwal and Kumaon. Owing to its rich historical and cultural significance, Uttarakhand is home to some of the country's most prominent educational institutes, such as the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, the Indian Military Academy, the Wildlife Institute of India, and the Forest Research Institute. Beyond the natural beauty of Uttarakhand lies its deep-rooted mythology, which has been a crucial part of its existence and cultural heritage. Mahabharata, one of the most revered Hindu scriptures, is believed to have been written on this holy land. According to another legend, Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati got married at the Triyugi Narayan temple situated in Rudraprayag, and it is believed that their wedding fire still burns there. Even the state flower, known as Brahma Kamal, is considered sacred. It is the flower that the Hindu god Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, holds in his hand. However, any attempt to describe a region is incomplete without the mention of its people. The Paharis, as they are lovingly known, encompass their faith in traditional beliefs and customs which define their culture and the various festivals they celebrate, such as the feeding of crows during the festival of Ghughutiya, or seeking blessings from the gods on the festival of Phul Day, or expressing gratitude to Mother Nature while celebrating Harila. And one cannot forget the highly unique Butter Festival, where locals smear butter and milk on each other's faces, expressing gratitude to Mother Nature. These celebrations are often marked with melodious folk songs, such as Bajuband, which is an expression of emotions, or songs of the Basant that signify the end of winter and the beginning of spring, or Chapati, which is accompanied by a folk dance. And talking about folk dances, Jhora and Chanchari are dance forms that are unique to Uttarakhand, where men and women join hands and move in beautifully synchronized circular formations. Whereas Sarankar is another native dance that is usually performed at weddings, in which the dancers rhythmically waltz about with swords and shields in their hands. The description of the culture of Uttarakhand would still be incomplete without a mention of its cuisine, which is predominantly a fine blend of organically grown grains and vegetables, meaning the food may be simple but is meticulously chosen to not only delight the taste buds but to also make the most of the available resources. Now moving on to Uttarakhand's exhilarating adventure activities. Uttarakhand offers adventure enthusiasts plenty of options to get their adrenaline pumping, with activities such as bungee jumping, paragliding, whitewater rafting, canoeing, kayaking, skiing, and trekking. Continuing with thrilling experiences, it must be noted that Uttarakhand has some of the country's most notable national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, including India's first and arguably its most popular national park, the Jim Corbett National Park, which is famous for its Royal Bengal tigers, Asiatic elephants, sloth bears, spotted deers, otters, and many more exotic animals. The Nanda Devi National Park, which is known for its natural expanse and is home to rare animals like snow leopards and musk deers. Rajaji National Park, on the other hand, is best known for wild elephant sightings. And nature blooms in full glory at the Valley of Flowers, which is adorned by exotic flowers and is also home to some rare and amazing species like the flying squirrel, the Himalayan weasel, the red fox, and Himalayan monal, to name a few. However, the Gangotri National Park is probably the most pristine stretch of wilderness in the entire country, offering a landscape filled with coniferous forests, gorgeous meadows, and majestic glaciers. This national park gives you a glimpse of heaven on earth. Beyond all the exhilarating activities lies a peaceful stargazing experience where the pleasure of looking at a clear sky illuminated by twinkling stars is second to none. And to aid your stargazing experience even further, Nainital has one of the largest telescopes at the Aryabhat Research Institute of Observational Sciences, known as ARIES. And talking about Nainital, one must not forget the other popular leisure destinations established by the British, which are thronged by tourists even today. Some of these include Mussoorie, known as the Queen of the Hills, Ranikhet, renowned for its breathtaking vistas, and Abbot Mount, a picturesque hamlet adorned by fairy tale-like cottages. Some other visually stunning attractions in the state are Tehri Lake, Khirsu, Kharsali, Kanganani Springs, Chakori, and Munsiari. Moving ahead to the more surreal experience of spiritual wellness, one can head to places like Rishikesh, Chopta, Devprayag, Harsil, and Mukteshwar to rejuvenate and revitalize the mind, body, and soul. These destinations are now also adorned by luxurious wellness centers. Devbhoomi is quite an apt name for the state because of the numerous pilgrimage sites present in the region. One could head to the temples at Badrinath, dedicated to Lord Vishnu, the god of preservation; Kedarnath, dedicated to Lord Shiva, the god of destruction; Yamunotri, dedicated to goddess Yamuna; and Gangotri, dedicated to goddess Ganga. These 4 temples constitute the Char Dham Yatra, which is one of the most important Hindu pilgrimage circuits. Haridwar, on the other hand, will hypnotize you with the rhythmic chanting emanating from the temples along the banks of River Ganga. And one cannot talk about Haridwar without mentioning the Mahakumbh festival, a mass congregation of pilgrims who come to take a holy dip in the river Ganga once every 12 years. And it is considered to be the world's largest human gathering. There are hundreds of temples in the state, each having a more fascinating story than the other. For example, the Jageshwar Mahadev Temple in Almora district. On the other hand, the 7th century Bagnath Temple in Bageshwar, also dedicated to Lord Shiva, is built in the traditional Nagra style of architecture. The Kartik Swami Temple in Rudraprayag is dedicated to Lord Kartikeya, the son of Lord Shiva. Then there is the temple of Golu Devta, the god of justice in Chittai. The cave temples of Pandukoli are believed to have been the place where the Pandavas, the 5 heroic brothers of the Mahabharata, took shelter, and the Patal Bhuvaneshwar cave temples, where various Hindu deities have manifested themselves, is another awe-inspiring sacred space. One's imagination truly runs wild upon thinking about the true origins of all these fascinating temples. Interestingly, the state is not just home to mythological gods, but also human incarnation of gods, like Neem Karoli Baba. It was believed that he was an incarnation of Lord Hanuman and possessed magical powers that could heal the human race. It was this belief in his powers that drew eminent global personalities such as Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Page, Julia Roberts and Daniel Goldman, among many others, to Genjidham Temple, which was considered to be Baba's abode and was established by him in the 1960s. Today, countless devotees pay a visit to Genjidham Temple to seek divine blessings. As we come to an end of this vivid description of Uttarakhand, words from the Rig Veda seem profoundly apt. There is no happiness for him who does not travel. The fortune of him who is sitting sits. It rises when he rises. It sleeps when he sleeps. It moves when he moves. Therefore, wander. And with this, we welcome you again to this enchanting, mystical and magical land. We welcome you to Uttarakhand.
I'd like to conclude just share a few things. Firstly, I have first-hand experience in living in Uttarakhand for a while. I did my training there for 3.5 months in Missouri. So that time we had a very good time, and every week we had a short trip, a short trek for one day. And at the end of the course, we had 10 days trek, long trek. Such a nice country to such a nice state to live, in fact. And after that, recently, like the last year, I have traveled up to the Gangotri. I have driven my car.
Okay.
I have driven my car.
Wonderful.
And I didn't experience any kind of congestion in traffic, and I had no need of stopping here and there. And the roads are too good, and I could see the difference. Now the things are changing, and thank you so much for your work on that. And secondly, so for this program, I would like to thank all of you for your fruitful contribution. Especially, thoroughly enjoyed on behalf of everyone here. I am telling we thoroughly enjoyed the presentation. It was very informative. And secondly, moreover the discussion, kind of discussion which had, it touched upon almost all the topics. And it was very insightful, and we have taken some points for our action points as well. Some of the suggestive action points to be followed up after this event. One is, after this event, immediately we will connect all the stakeholders by email. We will send an email to all the participants here, and including officials and officers from government of Uttarakhand. We will connect everyone so that we will come to know each other, all the government entities, tour operators, and relevant stakeholders. The second one is, we will disseminate the information as well. Today, whatever the information which we had, the kind of presentation and videos, we will share this with all the relevant stakeholders in Dublin, in Ireland, especially the tour operators and the government entity, Tourism Ireland, so that for final dissemination to the beneficiaries. And third one is the exchange of delegations. So following this event, we are looking for a kind of exchange of delegation from India and also from Ireland. So we are requesting government of Uttarakhand to consider for sponsoring some of the visits by taking care of the expenditures. So some of the tour operators maybe you can invite to Uttarakhand, and some of the the representatives from the Tourism Ireland maybe you can invite. And similarly, we will be in touch with the Tourism Ireland here, that is your counterpart here, and we will tell them to consider inviting the government of Uttarakhand delegation for detailed talk with the relevant stakeholders. And the next one is the signing of MOUs. Maybe we can look for signing of MOUs between the government of Uttarakhand, especially the tourism department, and the tourism Ireland here. So in that
Yes.
MOU, maybe you can have an overview of the kind of activities which you can carry out, how you can promote tourism, how you can utilize and harness the full potential. So if you could kindly share the draft MOU, we will share with the Tourism Ireland and get back to you how we can work out. And the next one is participation in each other's events. So both sides can look for participating in each other's events. Like many events are happening. As just now, Tarun sir, you just mentioned that tourism roadshow. So this is a wonderful idea, which you can consider conducting a tourism roadshow, especially for Uttarakhand, for state of Uttarakhand. And we have a vibrant community here with their support and with the support of the local government. We can look for such a tourism roadshow. In addition, we can also participate in tourism fairs or summits, summit meetings, then seminars, so that it will, it will augment our cooperation in this field of tourism. And also, I would request you can please share additional information about the Uttarakhand tourism, not only these videos, pamphlets or any booklets, some other videos, so that we will share the complete package with the Tourism Ireland to disseminate widely here. And also, we will request
Packages.
as you know, each and everybody is in touch with some 20-30 people here, so they can easily disseminate and they can easily be the tourism ambassador of Uttarakhand. Yeah. And one more thing we would suggest, the yoga in the field of yoga or the cave tourism. If there is anything in the cave tourism, there are caves in each and every county of Ireland here. There are 26 counties. Almost except one county, each and every county is having some kind of caves. So earlier we had some event with Meghalaya tourism, cave tourism. So this also we can explore. And about that, you know very well the adventure tourism. I have myself experienced this adventure tourism, river rafting. Such a wonderful experience. I think from Rishikesh to Uttarakhand. Sorry, Rishikesh. Rishikesh.
Yes.
Around 25 to 30 kilometers. It was such a nice experience. So finally, I want to thank the whole team Uttarakhand, Mr. Tarun Ashwinji, additional CEO, Ms. Poonam Chandji, additional director, Mr. Surya, Mr. Sumit Pan, and others. And also our vibrant Indian community, our beloved Indian community here for sparing their time and valuable time and coming over here and also joined with us in the upcoming initiatives. So thank you so much for all of your contribution and your precious time today.